Hey, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whatever time it might be where you are out there. Welcome back to the live stream. My name is Jeff Fritz, and
Greetings, my excellent friend.
it is so good to see you, my friends. My goodness. Today is, what day is today? I know what day today is. Today is March 3rd, 2020. We're going to write a little bit of code today. How's it going, chat room? My goodness. I'm still trying to move things around here on my desk. Because I've got a guest machine in front of me. More on that in a minute. I want to say hello to everybody who's here in the chat room. Hello. Who do we have here? Doug the Coder, welcome in. Sudoku is here. How's it going, my friend? So good to see you. Sarah Dukevich, love to see you. Pac-Man Jr., love the shadow movement image. It's like you're someone behind you bouncing around and you think it was shadow in your room. No, that's me. That's live and filtered on my camera here as I'm getting ready, and I realized I had forgotten I needed a second mouse. I had to go get my extra mouse from the other room where we were playing games with Mrs. C Sharp Fritz. We were playing Diablo the other day. You like the messages going by? Reticulating spleens? Yes. Oh my, indeed. DJ Vortex is here. Hello. Hugo Doll. Greetings and good, I think that's supposed to be tidings, friends. Shadow Dref, code like a Twitch streamer to the tune of Dance Like an Egyptian. Is that a thing? Smab is going to be lurking today. Wait do you see how fast we get things up and running today. I'm told this is going to be pretty quick. Eternal Dev Coder, good morning to you. Let's see here. Hassam Kal, 2009, hello. Darth Fritzer, no, that's not a thing. Even though you can redeem channel points and make that a thing, it's not a thing. Get back to me on that. Channel points, you know what they are. They're the little orange gears that you get just for participating, for being here on stream. You get channel points. We call them Fritz bits here. Redeem, I believe it's 10,000, and you can have me change my voice. I can sound like Darth Vader. We can sound like a bunch of different things here on stream. That reminds me, let me get that redemption window pinned over here. And we need to actually change out. We're going to change out a couple things that are on the list here, because we're not going to be able to do them in just a few minutes. Ancient Coder, good afternoon. Covamelia, been a while since you last got on, but welcome in. So good to have you back. Always welcome to take some time and come back. Gosh, everybody's always welcome here. Want to make sure that it's a place that we can have some fun and talk about tech together. I've got my Mandalorian hat on. Right, look at that. To match, check out the t-shirt. I found this the other day. I had to pick it up. Huh? Right? Look at that. TD Walsh is here. Hello. Good to see you. You're in Boston, where the donuts are kind of stale. Are you knocking Dunkin' Donuts? Are you knocking Dunkin' Donuts there? I think she's knocking Dunkin' Donuts. Thank you so much for joining us. This is the way. Thank you, Bruno. Yes, this is the way. Oh, Manda Fritzian. Let's work on that. I think we can do something with that. You thought it might be a Tesla hat. No. That's the Mandalorian. It's on this side, right? You can. Duncan is gross. Welcome to the East Coast, my friend. Picture a rewrite of the entire Star Wars movie franchise, but instead of the Force, it's the source code. If only I had a voiceover that sounded something like that. If only somebody was crazy enough to record that on stream and actually have that available. I don't know who would do such a thing. Darn it, where's my sound effects folder? There it is. It is... It's not here. I see all my great Scots. Oh, here it is. We've got this.
Come to the dark side of the code.
See, you can do that, right? There's this one.
Come to the .NET side of the code.
You can do that too. Of course, you want to
use the source, Luke.
No, don't do that. But really, you should be using...
Use the source control, Luke.
Yeah, you should be using source control. So, I've started minimal March here on stream. This is something Is that code in my information below the color video colored in correctly? No, that's colored correctly for code.org. Yes, that is correctly. So I've been talking about minimal March here for about the last week and a half. And the idea is that anybody, anywhere, with any editor, with any operating system, can get involved and become a .NET developer. And we spent some time on Sunday going through and talking about, let me go over to the source code. There, the code screen. There it is. Fix that green screen after I moved it. There we go. I wrote this blog post. You can't see it. There it is. Minimal March, Part 1, getting started with .NET and C# at the command line, because you can program with .NET at the command line. You can do it. You might not really enjoy it, considering the much, much, much more productive options that are available to you, but you can do this. I need to remove that Pluralsight logo and stuff, because those are no longer available on Pluralsight. They removed my courses. And there's a ton more Wintellect Now courses, and more coming to Wintellect Now. Anyways, so, and I had tweeted about this, and people were saying, oh my gosh, really? So the parameters I set forth are, let's use Ubuntu Linux, let's use .NET SDK 3.1, and let's use as bare bones a text editor as we can. So we were using Vim 8 point whatever. And I had a virtual machine set up, and we went through and installed and learned how to prep and install Vim plugins. And I found out later that Vim 8 has its own plugin manager, so you don't actually need a plugin manager to manage plugins. You can actually just clone and put the plugins down in a folder and load it up. Yeah, we're using Vim. Ilian Fair really likes the idea of minimal March. I agree. So, and I also, we turned on screen keys so you could see my keystrokes again. We set up our Git command prompt. I don't know anything about tmux. This is something I need to figure out how to customize at some other time. But for right now, it works. I'll spend some time customizing. But there's some other things that I would love to be able to do to customize. And I wrote these all up. Let me share the blog post here for you, just in case you want to go out and find it. Because what happened after I went through and did this, I shared this with some of my friends in a private Discord that I hang out in. And they said, Jeff, as a developer, you've got this big, expensive Microsoft hardware. You're working in a virtual machine. You're working with unlimited Azure resources. Oh my gosh, Coding Bandit!
Coding Bandit gifted Saduki a subscription. Coding Bandit gifted a tier 1 sub to Saduki.
Thank you so much.
36 gift subs in the channel.
Thank you so much. We're going to make a donation to code.org for that gift sub. And Saduki, you're going to get 17 emotes, all the bot emotes, the rainbow bearded emotes. You're going to get to throw emotes on the screen like this because you're a subscriber now. And we'll turn off ads on the channel for you. But most importantly, we're going to make that donation to code.org. Thank you so much, Coding Bandit, for gifting that sub. So this is nice, but real folks that are working in a minimal configuration, they don't have $1,500 to buy a Windows machine. There's those gatekeeper folks out there that say you need to spend $3,000, $5,000, $50,000 for an appropriate Mac so that you can be a real developer. And I thought about that, and they're right. They're right. My friend BB is right that, you know what? That's gatekeeping. And I hate gatekeeping. Everybody everywhere can be a developer. I don't care who you are. I don't care how much money you have. I don't care what part of the world you're in. You can be a developer. And I took this challenge and I said, let's take this to the next step. And I tweeted about this a little bit last night as I went through the process here. 48K of memory. Well, no. Doug the Coder started coding on a ZX Spectrum. Oh my goodness. So what I did last night, let me bring up my Twitter here. I went for a little drive. And I went to Walmart. Those of you here in the States, you know Walmart's known for bargain prices, known for some good deals on things. They're not known for having superior quality hardware. You can buy an iPhone there. You can buy some higher priced machines. You're not going to find the top of the line things there, but you can find some reasonably priced. And particularly if you're buying games. Game systems, you're going to find them at reasonable prices and third-party equipment that you can use that's serviceable, but you're not going to find high-quality, top-of-the-line developer rigs at Walmart. I purchased a Chromebook. And I set out a goal. I set out a story for myself. I said, you know what? Let's limit this. I want to make sure that anybody anywhere can be a developer. And I said, you know what? We're going to make sure that I buy a machine for less than $200. And you're going to see, I actually walked right up to that line. And I wanted to show that we could get our hands on a machine and we could be a developer and we could configure it and have it run Linux, have it run .NET command line tools. I want to build with Blazor. I want to build with ASP.NET Core with a Chromebook live on stream. No VMs, no virtual machines. 32. We'll get into the specs of what I got here in just a second. It's certainly not a MacBook, but that's okay. For what I needed to do, if it was just doing Chromebook things, I can watch movies on it. I can browse the web. I can send emails, and it works great. The processor and things are very good. Let me show you just a second here. Let me go to my OneDrive. Wrong keyboard. I've got too many keyboards in front of me. You know what? It's going to be better if I go to OneDrive over here. 1 second. Let me just bring up, because I have some photos that I took while I was there in the store. And I want to share with you a little bit of what happened and why I chose what I chose. Because I think... Here we go. It's going to download this. Yes, I know you're downloading. Thank you, Windows. That's so kind of you. We're at 9778 followers right now. We get this number out to 10,000. We're going to have a 12-hour stream. Every time we cross a multiple of 100, we're going to give away some stickers. I have a whole bunch queued up, ready to go. I'm going to ship them out at the post office later today. And let's see. I hope this turned properly. No, it didn't. You stink.
Samsung Chromebook 3.
Okay. I filmed this on my phone in landscape mode, and of course, it still turns it portrait. What is that? How the heck do we turn this? Can we turn this? Is there a thing to turn this? No. We're not going to be able to turn this. Oh, iPhone, you make me so sad. Really? Really? On a Mac, you can't. Well, too bad. Can't do that. So I'm not going to be able to show you that without having to turn your head. That's weird. This is the one that I chose. Let's see. This should just open up and turn properly. No, it's not going to turn properly either. Really? What, my iPhone just suddenly forgot that things need to be turned the right way? You're disappointing me here, Mac. You're really disappointing me here. This is the one I got. This is the Chromebook 14 from HP. I don't know if it's still Hewlett-Packard, but from HP. Work or play lasts all day. So, right, the thing with the Chromebooks is they guarantee that they're going to be 8-hour plus of battery life. Has Wi-Fi and Bluetooth on it. Yay! USB-C. It's actually got 2 USB-C ports here. It's got 2 USB-A ports. Right, USB-A is those typical rectangular ports that you expect. 4 gig of RAM. A screaming 4 gig of RAM. High def webcam. I'm not using the webcam, so that's okay. But the important thing over there is that micro SD card reader, because with only 32 gig of storage, I'm worried that after I install all my SDKs and things and NuGet packages, I might be pushing up against that 32 gig. So I bought a 128 gig micro SD chip.
Let me add some value.
Svava! Thank you so much for that cheer.
Blitzbits. Off to a work call skeptical.
Oh, don't be skeptical. Thank you so much for that. And we'll make another donation to code.org. Ashley Grant is here. No, we're not going to turn the stream sideways. Hey, there's BB and VA. There's who gave me the idea for this. Thank you so much. So this is 128 gigs on a micro SD. If we need this, I'll load it in and we'll be running on a little bit more space. We'll have a little bit more space to work with over here on the Chromebook. So this is what I bought. And I can't believe that it didn't do any of the sideways adjustments here for me. So I unboxed it, and you're going to take your time downloading all these and not turn things sideways. You stink. That's so disappointing because it used to automatically turn these things sideways. This is all that I got in the box was a couple pieces of foam, the actual laptop, and a power adapter. That's it. No mouse, no video adapters, nothing. I have video adapters. I have mice and other things. But, right, it's got a touchpad. It's got all the things that you would expect inside of a laptop. In fact, I even opened it up here so that you could see it. And it's upside down. Really? Really, it's upside down? That's with the little cover on it still. Let me turn it to this one. I mean, okay. And look, it's not even in focus. iPhone, you're really disappointing me here. I mean, this is depressing. So this is what's sitting in front of me right now. I haven't touched anything else. The stickers are still on it. And notice no Windows key. No function keys across the top, all right? That really is a crappy picture. Oh my gosh. Wow, my iPhone is terrible. Okay. And it isn't maintaining and sending the orientation information into it. That really stinks. Oh my gosh. All right. Let me get some music playing here in the background before we get too much further and actually change over to our Chromebook here and start doing our thing. This is Music to Code by our friend Mr. Carl Franklin, and in honor of the blue metallic hue, I say metallic because it's plastic, I'm going to play blue today. There it is. Thank you, Ancient Coder. This is Music to Code by, and it's going to get you in the groove, going to get you in the flow, so that whatever task it is you're working on, you can focus on and just get stuff done. Check it out, mtcb.pwop.com. Thank you, Mr. Franklin, for letting us listen to your music while we write some code together here on stream. No caps lock either. You're right, BB. I just noticed that. There's a search key instead of the caps lock key. And I like that the power key is in the top right, directly opposite the escape key. So, all that I've done at this point is gone through and done the login process so that I could set up my user on Chrome, get things plugged in, and make sure that I can get video out from this. And I can show you, I've got video coming from my Chromebook. So, this is Chrome. It's going to be coming through. And I particularly chose this one because not only was it my favorite color. Yeah, that's right. I chose it because it's my favorite color. But it's got high def display. It's got 1920 by 1080. There was another one that I was looking at that I was really interested in getting. It's this Acer convertible. It was an 11-inch, so it was this nice little tight machine with a keyboard that goes side to side all the way, touch screen, but it was 720p on screen. But I later found out you could still output 1920 1080. So I'm looking at maybe there's a 30-day return policy. Maybe if this one doesn't work out, and it feels very plastic. And that's not terrible. That's just me being a first world developer. But this one is it's metal, it's heavy, it's got some sturdiness to it. I may end up swapping and getting this one. And I have a feeling that based on what we do here on stream today and throughout the rest of the week, I may end up taking these to conferences and giving talks on how you can be a .NET developer with a Chromebook and still be amazingly productive. Lily Hazel is here. Hello. It's very blue. This laptop, it's called the HP Ink Blue laptop. So, So here's what we're going to do today. Here's where I want to get to. I took all of the settings that we put down on Linux on Sunday, saved them off, and I put them out in, let me go back over to the other machine, put them in my GitHub. If you head out to my GitHub repository, my GitHub organization, my GitHub thing, I just finished saving a bunch of them out here in a .files folder. So I have things like my wallpaper here, my RC files. Mr. Regs! 18 months, absolutely. That's going to put you into, is it a orange hat with a propeller? Thank you so much for the support. Really appreciate 18 months of support. And we're going to make another donation to code.org. So I put all my RC files in here. I even put some of my wallpaper that I like to use in here, including that Fritz and Friends background that I like to use. See? And that window, the guy looking out the window, you can't even see it here. So, BB!
BB_in_var just resubscribed for 3 months. Wait, is there buttons to push?
Thank you so much. Bringing that Twitch Prime here. That's going to put you into a red hat subscriber badge, and we're going to make another donation to code.org. I think this is just a cool wallpaper to use for Linux, right? So I've got those 2 wallpapers in there, along with some scripts to help me download appropriately all the other things for my machine, my fonts, and I particularly wrote a couple lines in here to go get Papyrus, Cascade. Why would anybody use Papyrus? Don't answer that. Cascadia code and JetBrains Mono. And JetBrains Mono comes as a zip file, so I make sure I unzip it and place it into a fonts folder so I can go and set it up in other things later. And I get the git prompt thing here as well. So, and all my plugins for Vim that we installed: OmniSharp, NerdTree, and Editor Config. Because Vim now has its own plugin manager, I just have to put these down in this folder and it'll just work. It'll load them up and we're off and running. So that's where we're going to be today. That's where we're going to go, is we're going to get these configured, hopefully very quickly here, on the Chromebook. And we're going to turn the Chromebook from Chrome OS so that it's running Linux. But Chrome OS is a flavor of Linux, so we're going to see how that process works. We're going to bring down our .NET Toolkit. We're going to download those Blazor web forms components, and we're going to start. We're going to get back into building Blazor components that emulate web forms on a $200 Chromebook Linux machine. Sound good, chat room? I think that's a day. I think that's a day of development right there. I went out to Google's website, found this article: set up Linux beta on your Chromebook. All right, whatever. So I've got these instructions. You should back up and restore. Whatever, right? I should be able to do a factory restore, right? If there's a problem, right? So, thank you, Smab. Yeah, we're gonna need some luck here. So microphones and cameras aren't supported in Linux. Don't care. Not using those. Android devices are supported over USB. Don't have an Android device. Android emulators, not building for Android yet. Hardware acceleration is not yet supported, including GPU and video decode. Not doing that. Chrome Vox is supported in the default terminal app, but not yet. Don't know what that is. Not using it. All right. So how to install... This is if we wanted to completely... This is from LifeWire. If we wanted to completely wipe the machine and put down Linux on it, not doing that. But the Google support says here, if I scroll down to HP, it does include these versions prior to 2019. This is a 2019 model laptop, so Chromebook. So we're good to go here. All right, friends. This has to be simpler than deploying to Azure. Unhip Coder, I have a feeling we're going to be much more successful with this, much more quickly than we ever were with deploying to Azure. And if that's the case, somebody's got to rethink their career. And it's not me. Let me do this. Give me 1 second here. I am going to put this right in front of me. There we go. So that I've got on the screen in front of me what's on the Chromebook, so I don't have to be looking down here and you see the top of my head, right? Nobody wants to see the top of my head. It's not that pretty. Trust me. So let's do this. I'm going to go down here to this thing, right? Is there a button for that on here, like the Windows key? Right? Is that a thing? Yeah, I guess it is. All right. And what I did yesterday was I started typing in terminal, right? And I go to launch terminal and it says, set up Linux on your Chromebook. Yes, let's do that. So I love that this now comes with the Chromebook, right? They're starting to realize, they're starting to understand that, hey, folks are doing more with this than just using it for the simple Chrome features. Now, I didn't really do the unboxing. I don't have enough space right here in the home studio. I need to move things around, renovate a little bit, and make that happen. Robert Tables. We had a redemption for a voiceover, but I don't see it over here anymore. I need to get in touch and make that happen here. Yep, I showed a photo of the box. Frank Bucheros is here. Hello, hello. And the oh, man! And the bald bearded builder. Do I know what distro is being installed? No. Don't really care. Frank and the bald bearded builder, they're both members of the Live Coders team. Just like Lily Hazel. Yeah, see that? Words are hard. And Coding Bandit, she's a member of the Live Coders team as well. So, bald bearded tongue twister. Yeah, that's a thing. Don't know what distro it is. I understand it's a Debian variant, but that's okay. Gareth is here. Gareth's another member of the Live Coders team. Livecoding.net on a Chromebook. Oh, yes. Might be able to do it on an Android tablet. Maybe. TBD Gamer is a live coder as well. If this is a viable... Here, let me put this. That's a good message to put up here. Let me... If this is a viable dev laptop at $200, these things would be great to donate to coding charities. Completely agree. I've heard folks say that for other programming languages, for those Node folks, for Python, works great. But we're going to do .NET here. And show that this is a thing. What's with the hat? Elliot Brand, that's the Mandalorian. And I've got my Baby Yoda shirt. See that? Is it my theme this week? Coding from Chromecast. No. Minimal. This is the entire month of March. We're doing minimal development here. Why is it Penguin? Can I change the name of this thing? I don't want to call it Penguin. And it's Jeffrey T. Fritz. But that sure looks like I'm in. I'm on a terminal here. All right. That was quick. Chrome deploys Debian 9. Nice. Do I have Git? I do. Okay. I'm intrigued. We're going somewhere now, right? uname-a, what's that do? Yeah, Linux Penguin. How do I change the name of my machine then? Right? Jeremy Knight!
Jeremy Knight _me just resubscribed for 11 months. C# do the thing.
C# do the thing. I will. Thank you so much. Set the host name with the hostname -b. Yes, please. What should we call this? Fritz book? I am not a Penguins fan. No. Those Pittsburgh Penguins? No. Linux Penguins? Different. What should we call this? C# Chrome? Chrome Minimal Fritz? I like that. Let's do that. Minimal Fritz. You must be root. Fine. Now what? Did it change it? Sure doesn't look like it. Name should be Balmer, says, is live coding. Who's live coding? Welcome in. Reboot may be required. Could be. Could be. How do I reboot? Right, that's a really good question. This thing. Well, that went somewhere. Did it actually turn off? It's not turning on. Now I've done it! No, really, it's not turning on. Good night, everybody. We've had a great time here today. Thanks so much for watching. We're done. That's the button you use to exit Vim. No. Don't do that. Chrome brick. That's what we're going to call this. Yes, there is a capture card. Yes, yes. Right, there we go. Be nice if it used my actual avatar from Google. But hey, whatever. We can't be perfect. Nor do I care. What's new on Chromebook? Hey, that's great. Go away. About blank. Good. Get more blank. What's this? Loading Google Assistant. Don't do that. I don't want Google Assistant. Go away. Taking its good old time getting started now. So if I go over to terminal, please connect to the internet and try again. I am connected to the internet. See? Now I've done it. Right? This isn't a touch screen either, so I can't just touch it. Okay. What's new on Chromebook? Me. Yeah. Connect to some other internet. You love the colors? The app will open when the upgrade is finished. Upgrades can take a few minutes. You didn't need to upgrade a minute ago, did you? Now you do. And I'm going to get connected here to GitHub. Get signed into the GitHub. Where the heck did... I have no idea where those things came from. And I already have LastPass running. That's good. Yeah. Built for developers. I hope so. Thank you. Yep, and I need my two-factor. You need to install the two-factor authentication on everything. Literally on everything. I need my authenticator code. I don't care if you see this part. There we go. And I'm in. All right. So I need the config stuff for this, right? Mr. U comp sci. Where is it? Settings, I believe, is where it is. I believe it's emails. There we go. Primary not visible. Blah blah blah. Where's the C# Fritz at users no reply github.com? That's the one we want, right? And I always forget how to configure configure git username, right? There's that whole how you get started configuring it. Authy? No, I'm not gonna use Authy. Here we go. First time setup. And over here, this should say, still says @penguin. And now you feel shame. Right? Sudo -b, no. Sudo hostname -b minimal Fritz. No. That's better. All right. Now we're talking. All right, I can zoom. I can't unzoom. I'm trying to mouse wheel the other way and it's not zooming. And now I feel shame. Hey, there's no page up and page down buttons on this. I can control minus and get back. Okay. Alright. Let me go back over here. Where is it to do the git config? There we go. Git config, global username, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, let me do that. So that I have that configured. Alright. Jeffrey T. Fritz. And the other one is user email. That. Right. And the value from here is this. Okay. Paste. Go. All right. So I've got at least that. Alt arrows and it is page up and page down. Okay. Did I mention the Chromebook I got? Yes, this is, and I showed a picture of it earlier. This is... that's interesting. No, that's to be expected, I guess. That's weird. I've got Windows over Chrome on my front screen here. I will go back and bring up... I need to put this in the answers. Automated answers here. This is... We'll get that image back open. Rotate that. This is the HP Chromebook 14. There it is. So, you feel like an external keyboard might be handy? I don't need multiple I've already got multiple keyboards here. Last thing I need is a third keyboard. So, this is, yeah, this is the one that I've got, and, so far so good. So, okay, I have my git config. I should run out now to, let me go to GitHub, C#Fritz, to my dot files, and let's get those dot files so that I bring down my configuration that I had before. So I'm going to cloner download, yes, grab that. I'm assuming it copied it, sure. Yeah, that's it. Right? Before I do that, Control U doesn't work there to get rid of that. Thank you for the follow. Enrique. Hello, welcome in. Let me create my dev folder here where I'm going to be doing most of my working. And if I look at the file system, let's also take a look at this. Is that 100? That's not a 14 gig free on VDB. So that's pretty good. 14 gig. Is that going to be enough for .NET? We'll find out. Extra keyboard, mouse, display, processor, GPU, and storage. That's just it. We're not going to go install all those other things. All right, so git clone and bring down that. Yes, I want to continue. Thank you. Oh, I need to give it my public key. Crumbs. All right. Right. My public key is going to be under .ssh. No, it should be... Oh, I need to create the public key, don't I? Alright. Back over here. Where is it? Public key. Right? Generate public key. Right, and it should pick this up right away for Git. Yep, generate my SSH public key. Don't show this on screen. Why? It's a public key. I don't want to show the private key. Right? Key, fingerprint, all that stuff. That's the stuff that you're worried about. right? The private key that goes with it, you worry about. But the actual public key, you want folks to have. Yeah, SSH keygen. Y-O. That's fine. I'm going to jump back over here. Yeah, that's fine. That's fine. I don't care. There we go. All right. There's my fingerprint. Now, isn't there a way to copy it directly over to the clipboard? There's a way to, like, echo it. Right? To run a cat and get it right onto the... I thought there was a way to do that. Doesn't matter. Right? So there it is. What's the cheapest Chromebook this would work on? This is a $200 Chromebook. I suppose it would work on a cheaper one. I'm going to go over here and go into my security settings. Settings. Security. Right, not changing those, not changing my two-factor. My sessions, where is SSH and GPG keys? These. Right, there we go. New SSH key. Right, and this is going to be minimal Fritz Chromebook. There we go. Add it. Now I have access. You bet this would work well on a Raspberry Pi? Yes, it does work well on a Raspberry Pi. However, my argument for the Raspberry Pi against the Raspberry Pi is you can't use a Raspberry Pi. You still need to add a keyboard to display all the other things that this already has. So, now let me try that git clone command. I should be able to get my dot files now. There we go. Alright, so now if I go into dot files, I've got, yes, right, I've got my vimrc and my bashrc. I'm going to move both, don't do dot star, that's a bad idea. No, not, no. Just rename that, thank you. I'm going to copy bashrc to there. I'm going to copy my vimrc to there also. In my bin folder, right? So I wrote a couple things here. Let me put that git prompt in. Just buy your Mac Pro for $6K. No. All this stuff does work on a Pi. Yes. Symlinks to make sure it stays in sync. That's not a bad idea. That's not a bad idea. Let me go back up one. Right, those files are still here. Even that. Right, that file, get rid of that. Let me go back to here. Yeah, let me turn those into symlinks. So I need to remove the existing files and link them back. So I'm going to remove that. And it's... the source is going to be... Hey, thank you for the follow. Advenzol, welcome in. Dot files, and I'm going to bring in the vimrc to .vimrc, right? That should work. Right? Yeah, there we go. There's the couple of little things that I built. Let me get rid of, where is it? bashrc. And let me link that as well. bashrc to .bashrc. So now those are linked. Right? So if I make changes, it'll be in the Git repository so I can push it back. Not a bad idea. Thank you for the suggestion there, Hugo. That's a good idea. But let me bring down the plugins that we installed last time. So I'm going to go back into dev .files. I have a bin folder here. I'm going to run that git prompt file. Really? Fine. So that, when I'm in a Git repository, will execute and have the appropriate prompt here for me. So let's just restart terminal. Right? And that's really, really big. That's better. Okay, cd dev dot files, and now I get my prompt that has the Git notation there. Still not a fan of the coloring of it, but it works. All right, so I also have get fonts. Let me get my fonts. So that just brought down Cascadia Code, Papyrus, JetBrains Mono, and right, Cascadia Code, Papyrus, and JetBrains Mono. So I've got those available to me now. Let me now get those Vim plugins. So this is just going to clone down OmniSharp, NerdTree, and editor config. So I have those available to me now. So now if I do Vim on Git prompt, right, I have my numbers down the side. It's picking that up. I should be able to do Control-N, and I get my NerdTree down the side. It doesn't have the colors picked up quite right for NerdTree. So that's a problem. Not quite sure why, right? I'm going to find that really annoying. But there's got to be a fix for that. Coding with Jerry, you like the hat? Thank you. My Mandalorian hat. When I change my bash RC, you can source.bashrc and it'll reload without restarting. Ah, I didn't know that, Degs. Thank you. Source.bashrc. All right, I'll have to remember that. Looking at other folks' .files repos on GitHub is a deep, deep rabbit hole. Yes, it is. Make sure no passwords or keys are stored there. Absolutely. Do not do that. So, okay. That, it works, right? And I'm in Vim and I can start operating again. So that's not too bad. What's next? Oh, let's set up the font for my terminal here, right? Isn't there settings on this? Or not? There should be settings on the terminal, right? Is it hiding somewhere? Where would settings be? Right, I can't. I'm right clicking up here and nothing happens. Well, that doesn't work. Right? You feel like every sentence should end with "This is the way." No. Right, I should be able to set the font on this, shouldn't I? On the terminal? New window, pin, shutdown Linux. Is it over here in settings? Is it like buried over here? Yes, Control-Shift-P gets me the properties. Let's see, Control-Shift-P. All right. Background color, background image size. Background image would be nice to put one of my wallpapers in there. Right? Make it a little bit, and I do prefer a little bit of, what's the color code for Rebecca Purple? Well, that's just wrong. Way to go, Chrome. 663399. Thank you. There we go. Yes, that's what I want. Thank you. Okay, background image. It's dev.files, wallpaper, and oh, that's already looking fun. I'm gonna grab let's grab window.jpg. Background image size. I don't know. There's no help there for those. Okay, whatever. Cursor text shape. I don't want it to be a block. I'd like it to be an underline. I like underlines. Text cursor color. No, I don't want it to be red. Red is scary. Make it white. Okay. Initial color palette. I don't know what that means. Bold text behavior. How about... there we go. Text font family. Now, where do I put Cascadia code? Is there a files? Yes. I should be able to just double click on the file and get it to run. Impossible to read that terminal at the moment. Well, I'm not... It's white on purple. That's fine. My files. Interesting that it's not showing me my home folder. Right? Can I go here? Not exactly where I wanted to go. Alright, whatever. So it found my files. Not sure why it found that one, but okay. So I should be able to double click on the fonts files and get it to load. Oh, I know why, because that was one of the most recent things I put on my Google Drive. Yeah. Click Linux files. Where do you see Linux files? Here. Ah, okay. Alright, so is there a font? There is no fonts app. Okay. So, how do we install? Oh, dear God. That is awful looking. Alright, maybe we do need to go back to... No, that's not going to work. Get off of the purple there. That purple is awful. Head back over here to something a little bit darker. Oh, I gotta click that. Be nice if I could... How do I install fonts? The Linux files are in a container. Ah. Yeah, I'd like to be able to choose the different fonts that I want, but... FC list? What's FC? Right, if I'm doing a search for font, even trying to do it coming through this way, it's not visible to me. Personalization? Apps? No. From terminal. So how do I install the fonts? From the terminal, you're saying. There you go, that's better. What was it again? FC... list. No, don't have that. In container, you can install from there. If you want to do it in Chrome OS, then it's in Google Chrome settings appearance or something like that. Let's open another tab. Settings. No. That's extensions. No. Alright. Appearance. Search engine. Startup. These are web browser things. This isn't the OS. You think I typed JPEG for the wallpaper and it's a PNG? You're right. Control S takes me... I don't know what that is. No, no background. No background. Well, that wasn't inside Chrome. How to install fonts on Chromebook? Oh, it's Quora. Crap. Quora is one of those. Honestly, I think it's a worthless website. How to install fonts on your Series 5 Chromebook, please. Because everybody's got an opinion on Quora, and most of them aren't right. What the? Stop! To have a custom font, you place a TTF into the Chrome OS font folder. Great, where's that? You need to turn the hardware switch to developer mode on the right-hand side of the Chromebook. What? Oh my gosh. No, it can't be. It can't be. Go into developer mode, log in as root, change blah blah blah. No. No way. You can find instructions. All right, so it does want me to go to Wikidebian. Do I have a fonts folder in Home? Font lists, commonly used fonts, adding fonts. Fonts can be added system-wide to Debian by installing the appropriate package or specified. What the hell do you think I clicked? I put them in user local share fonts. Should work. You just need to copy the font files to the Linux files location before being able to move them to the appropriate system directories. Well, they're already in... They're already there. FC list doesn't do anything. Okay, so we need to install font config. Okay. No. Can't do that. Do I need to sudo in order before I do that? You're kidding. Sure. Yes. Okay, why? Missing fonts makes rectangles and curses. Yes. Yes. Okay. So, alright. Alright, so FC list should list fonts. No, don't have FC list. Okay. How do we actually install these? Install by downloading the appropriate TTF and placing them into user local share fonts. tilde.local share fonts. Or tilde.fonts. I'll put them into tilde.fonts. So let me go up one, and I believe I put them in. Right, I created a capital fonts, so let me move that to dot fonts. There it is. Okay. So they're over there. Does that mean now I can say... I really don't like that with the terminal maximized here. It's off the screen. That's a little bit bad. Yeah, okay. So now if I go back over to Chrome, where'd it go? Here. Can I scroll down here and change? Did I go flying past fonts? I probably did. There it is. That's not Cascadia code. How do I save my settings? Did it just take it because I keyed it in? Because that's not Cascadia code. I could have sim-linked the fonts folder, but I feel like I should have another one. Can we pivot again and do .NET on a Pi? I'm thinking of that for July. July OT. So, yeah. Try and relaunch terminal. Because that doesn't look like it's using the right font there. No, that's not Cascadia code. Right? The L's have a hook on the end of them. It doesn't have that serif. Which tells me it didn't pick up. Cascadia code. Right? Also, it isn't picking up all the other fonts. Run font config. Nope. Don't have font config. Those should work. You just need to copy the font files to the Linux files location. Trying to copy so they can use it with Visual Studio Code. That supposedly worked. You want to add this, blah, blah, blah. Downloaded the font family, unzipped it, copied it to user share fonts, copied it to all these. FC cache -v equals nothing. What? -fv rebuilds the cache list. Well, considering these other ones didn't work, I don't have... No. I can't run FC cache at all. Can't run FC list. Font config isn't... How do we get this installed? Yeah. Font manager. How do I install font manager? Can I do that? No. apt-get install. Because next we still need to get our hands on .NET. No, font config doesn't exist. Google, you're killing me here with these instructions. Because those things don't exist. Try apt-get update first. Sure, let's give that a shot. First. Following signatures didn't verify. Google APIs. The Google repository is not signed. Google, get with the program. Not there. Font config is 1. There we go. Now, why is there a dash in it? Whatever. So what was the cache instruction? Right, it was FC cache or something. Yeah, signature error coming off of Google's repository. It was FC cache something. I don't see it looking at my folder. But let me exit and restart now that we have... No, that's not Cascadia code. Well, it sees JetBrains Mono. Okay. I should do more and search through this. JetBrains Mono. It's just Cascadia, that's why. Let's see, where did the font list go? There. Right, how do I make sure I save and update those settings? Right? I have to... Fonts folder is named correctly. No, that's not it. And it's not picking that up at all. I am... Right, so this isn't fonts anymore. You gonna load here for me? Show hidden files. Right, dot fonts. Right, there's Papyrus, there's Cascadia. Should be picking that up, right? Okay, Control-Shift-T does not open the previously closed tab. Rats. File permissions are okay. How do you rebuild the font? I just did the font cache thing. Install font. Yeah, presumably it's just editing a .config file somewhere. I kind of agree with you. Like, custom fonts on the Chromebook should be, here's the screen, copy them in. Right? So it's telling me to go back over to here. Yeah, FC cache -FV rebuilds cache list of fonts in, yeah. It found the list of fonts. I already ran that. Do other fonts work? That didn't change anything up there either. Right? Also, that wallpaper, it didn't apply either. Right? That wallpaper was not applied to my terminal at all. So, wait a sec. CSS value. I need to specify a URL around this. And an HTTPS. I mean, are you kidding? No, that's not working either. Center. CSS value for the background image size. Isn't fill? Isn't that it? No. Try a file path. No. Single quote rather than double quote. We're going to go through that. No. Right? Even if I delete these, so it just picks up the default. Doesn't show it there. This is... I'm going round and round on this, and it just flat out doesn't work. The instructions... the instructions here are awful. And we're not getting anywhere, and it's not making anybody happy. Right? Because I can, right? Yeah, what happens if I specify all lowercase? No. What happens as I get rid of these? That doesn't change anything either. That changed something. That changed something. Would it be possible to install the Linux terminal like a GNOME terminal? Try running FC match for Cascadia. Sure, let's do that. Cascadia space code. Up top there. It's there. Nope. And it even reflected over here. Interesting. Why is the cursor way out there? And I've got world read on this, so it shouldn't be a problem to get that. Well, I think we're going to switch to the JetBrains Mono and see if we can get that to work. No. See, that's Windows. Download and install in Windows. No. Right, and... that doesn't work. That doesn't work. That doesn't work. Where's one of the JetBrains ones? JetBrains Mono. Nope, that doesn't work either. Good example from Hugo. Oh. Oh my. Scroll down to the custom CSS. And drop in that font face. Are you kidding? And it's referencing that URL directly off of GitHub. While that may work, that's bringing a sledgehammer to the party that I just don't want. Hey, Polarin. Oh, that's sorry news to hear. I don't want to specify and write all that custom code. I should be able to just use it here, right? The other place is user share fonts X11. But it sees it. It sees my fonts. What if I installed the GNOME terminal? apt-get install GNOME. Is it GNOME-terminal? Yes, please. Using a half a gig for this. See if we can get it. Yeah, it's bringing in GTK is what it is doing, yes. Nope, not going to use VS Code. Nope, nope. That configuration screen is downright painful. Right? I mean, would folks really have the patience to go through and configure this? No. That's right, on Hip Coder. I'm disappointed by this screen. It's right. I mean, I'm just trying to install a font, and it's like, MJT says maybe it's because it's JavaScript. I think you're right. This is from a year ago. I mean, maybe I need to restart? Because I put fonts down over here and they need to be trafficked back across? No, gosh, I should have just installed Xterm instead of a full GNOME terminal. Yeah, I'm willing to bet that this Chrome... Right? I don't even remember how I got into this. Let's close that. And from over here it was what? Control-Shift-P? Still doesn't see that wallpaper. No. 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 Where's history here? so we can just take a look. Yeah, I'm quickly managing and running out of this. But it clearly isn't pulling these in over here, and it also isn't pulling in that. Right, even if I get rid of the file, no. Right? Yeah, I have a feeling we just zorched our drive by installing Chrome Terminal. Like, used up most of it. Yeah. Right, if I just make this file like that, no. Oh. No. Wait a sec. No. 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 The default is 0 size. So CSS value of the background image size. What's the I'm about to throw in the towel on this and say you can't do fonts, custom fonts on Chrome, because this is ridiculous. Like, I'm installing a whole different terminal because this terminal doesn't let me specify the fonts that I want. No, I'm not converting it to base 64. Try a file on the web for the background. A semicolon? Are you kidding? Don't do that to me. No. No. That's not it either. Right, and if I go all the way down to this, no. Right, the background size property, I thought background size auto, right? No. Even if we get rid of that, no. Set background image in terminal in Chrome OS. Yeah, I'm ready to give up on this and say it can't be done easily, and it's not a simple click into this. That's Windows terminal. Another thing I'm noticing and feeling the pain of is the back and forward keys. Buttons on my mouse don't work. Add wallpaper to Linux terminal. No. Alright. I'm throwing in the towel. You can't customize this thing. Yeah, it's a piece of junk. Right? I mean, there's the other terminal. Now I've got two that are called terminal. Well, which one is it? Right? That's doing something. Go to the app settings and look for background-image on this field. Place the image URL, or if you don't have anything there, type in your URL, your image URL. So this is doing something. Okay. I'm going to move on. I would have thought the instructions would have been really clear and really simple for non-technical folks to be able to install fonts. So we can't use fonts. Unless somebody can find some instructions for me, the instructions we have found don't work. Next step, let's install .NET. Let's get to that. Right, because this is really what we're all here for, is to be able to do .NET. So I'm going to go over to download, Linux, yes please. We're going to install .NET Core. GNOME terminal is literally spinning on this machine that doesn't have a lot of processor. That's not going to work. So let's do this wget to go get the thing. Fantastic. And next we're going to set up those packages. Good. Sudo apt-get update. We can do that. While it's doing that, we also need to get the API transport over Secure Shell. I mean, this terminal hasn't been supporting any of the curses URLs either. And we're going to run into this every time. I really would like to get rid of that. I am shocked Google hasn't signed their repository. That blows me away. API transport, good. So I don't need to do a second update, but let's get the SDK now. And GNOME is still working. There we go. 322 meg for .NET. Fantastic. Hey, DNI stream is here. Hello, hello. So if somebody has instructions, has an idea of... Why did that open over there? Of how to change the fonts over here, let me know. We can get in there a little bit here. But yeah, that GNOME terminal is just spinning, not getting anywhere. I don't know what to do with that. But it picked up the AMD 64 packages. Look at those. Good. That's... Did Microsoft do something slightly better than Google did just now? Did I? I might be losing it, but did they? I think they might have. .NET install with simple, clear, and functional instructions. Yeah. Try maybe some minimal Linux terminal like ST. I'd love to just use Xterm, right? Can I just pop another terminal tab here? Nope. So this terminal doesn't even have multiple tabs. So we can't do that. Is tmux installed? Nope. Make sure we get that installed because oh my gosh. It's gonna use another meg. Yeah, if not tabs, multiple instances. We'll figure that out. And this thing's still trying to work. Yeah. All that other junk I brought down for that half gig. Not getting it. What's the spec for the Chromebook? This is a HP Chromebook 14. It's got 4 gig of RAM and 32 gig of drive space. So I have 13 gig available to me. Do I think you should learn .NET MVC or .NET Core first? Yeah. Good answer, DNI Stream. Okay. Can we run extern? Copper Beardy with the raid. Welcome in, my friends.
Beardy raided my stream with 2 views.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Copper Beardy. Welcome in. How's it going there? You want me to do a uname -a? Sure. There you go. This is a Intel Celeron on this. Interesting, it doesn't have anywhere close to the right date. Right? Yeah, that's the right date. That's the date of the... Yeah, we're good. How'd it go over there on your channel, Copper Beardy? Let me know. Sudo apt-get auto-removed. Please, that would be great. Thank you. WTF blub. Yeah, let's do that. Yes, please. Free up all that other junk that we don't need. And we'll move on here. What I'm running into though, right? I mean, changing fonts is like a basic thing that folks should be able to do here. Why no VS VS Code? There is a belief, right or wrong, amongst folks that are in the Linux community, that anything made by a Microsoft product team, regardless of quality, they have a... And they're not watching this because I work for Microsoft. They are patently... offended is the wrong word, but they are patently opposed to anything that in any way, shape, or form touched anything Microsoft. So, .NET, while it's owned and managed by the .NET Foundation, might be able to sneak that under the bar here, but Visual Studio Code, that's a product. They won't touch that. They won't use GitHub anymore because that's owned by Microsoft. They immediately ran to GitLab, and that's okay. That's their thing. So, Copper Beardy had picked a hard code challenge on his stream, still trying to figure out, but otherwise went well. Viewers were great. Well, terrific. We can do a C# console application here. We can show that off if you'd like. Coding with Jerry asks, is ASP.NET Core self-hosted? What do you mean by self-hosted? You're trying to run it on a GoDaddy Windows server, but it seems that Plesk does not support .NET Core 3.1. Yes, it is. You can self-host. Heck, let's do it right now. Right? I should be able to run .NET. Boom. So .NET version 3.1.101. We're good there. I'm going to hide your question there, Coding with Jerry. But you can absolutely self-host here. Let me go into my dev folder, and I'm going to do a .NET new -o. Let's call this ASP.NET first, and I'm going to create an ASP.NET project there. What's the name of the... Which one do I want here? I thought it was just ASP.NET. Where's ASP.NET? I don't want... let's make web app. Here we go. Oh, really? Make sure I get that. Not web app. Oh, that's not going to work either. Right? And... yes, by default it doesn't include the runtime, but you can publish it and include the runtime. Goal here is to code in .NET on a Chromebook with nothing but open source non-Microsoft tools. Correct. There we go. So if I go into here, I can .NET run, and this will run on its own web server that it itself starts up and is hosting. It's the first time. It's going to take a little bit, right? Right, tell me that's why this is taking a long time. Same thing on Azure. You do need to build it self-contained to run on .NET Core 3.1. I understand that .NET Core 3.1 is not entirely available. So, on Azure. Okay, so let me copy that. Come over to Chrome. Open a new tab, paste that in, and yes, I know, I didn't install the thing. There it is running. So if you .NET publish, you'll get it to run. So, didn't Microsoft officially stop supporting .NET Core 3.0? Yes. However, Azure does support it. So, Azure, yeah, is supporting and running a version of the framework that isn't supported by the next division over. You are correct. Once .NET hits version... This is a question. I want to make sure I clarify this. Little Dan asks, once .NET hits version 5, will Core continue? So .NET 5, the concept of .NET 5 is, well, quite frankly, it's the Highlander concept.
There can be only one.
Right now, there are multiple .NETs. .NET Framework, .NET Core, Xamarin. And that's a pain in the neck. .NET Standard, so that you have a contract, so that you can have these three talk to each other. Which is down from the high we had of, I think, 7 or 8 different .NETs at one point. So the idea is .NET 5 will be the only .NET going forward that is developed, and it has features that target Windows, Mac, Linux, iOS, Android, and whatever other operating systems choose to support and build their own runtimes to support .NET Core. That's definitely a thing that will be available out there. Full framework, .NET Framework will not be continuing, yes. And it's already kind of done. So, Highlander versioning is born, yes. Thank you for the follow, Coach Carter9, and thank you for the follow, Mr. 4Z. There was another one back there, Mars112. Thank you so much for the follow as well. Appreciate you folks joining in. It's interesting, we're getting new followers. The counter's going up here. But on Twitch, the counter hasn't moved at all. John CVV, welcome in. Thank you for the follow. Release speed will decrease after 5? No, wrong. Actually, Little Dan, the release speed, the major release speed happens every November going forward for .NET. .NET 5 and release cadence. So every November, you're going to get a new version of .NET. And every other year, the even-numbered versions will be the long-term support versions. Interesting. The blog post isn't from Microsoft. Isn't the top entry here. No. Here. So, Jay Roseguard asks, do you know when any preview of .NET 5 will be available? Here we go. Where's the .NET Core versioning document? Come on, show me this. Please tell me it's here. There's a great image of the release train. No, it's not. And And this is an old blog post from 2016. There's a conference coming up in May that I expect us to be showing our first previews at. I expect, that doesn't mean necessarily that it will happen, but I expect that's when we'll start seeing it. However, everything is in GitHub. You can watch the development over there and how that's going to grow. There it is. There's the .NET schedule. So 2020, November 2020, you'll see .NET 5 in general availability. And you see how it goes. LTS, GA, LTS, and so forth going forward. That's the promise. That's where they're planning to get to. So we'll see. I'm hopeful. So, yeah, thank you for the link, Sudoku. So, a lot of work to move to .NET 5? Yes. And there's some brilliant people working on it. So, I've got ASP.NET Core working here. That's good. Now, hang on. I did a clear and look. Okay. Why is it off the top of this? I'm going to shrink my font size just a little bit here. Right? That's better. Let me head back over to GitHub, and I'm going to go fetch my Blazor project that we've been working on. This is github.com, Fritz and Friends, and it should be right on the top. Should be. But we've already built and run a simple ASP.NET Core application, right? I did the .NET New, and it ran. Let's go get this one. And I'm all up to speed. I've got my dev version. Let me go into, oh my gosh. Coding Bandit with the question, what's my preference between ASP.NET Core, MVC, and Razor pages? Yes. They each have their own place. If I'm building user interface, I like to use Razor pages. When I'm building APIs, of course, I'm in MVC. So I use a little bit there. BB asks, any major hiccups yet? I can't get fonts installed for the life of me here, BB. I know you run a Chromebook for what you're working on there, but I can't get fonts installed on this for the life of me. Thank you for the question there, Carrie. But I do prefer for user interface work, Razor pages. It just feels right. Coder Cat asks, fonts where? I want fonts in my terminal here so I can swap out when I'm in VI and have actual Cascadia code in the fonts that I prefer over here, right? So I'm gonna run I'm gonna run tmux, so I'm here, right? And I'm gonna start splitting my terminal. Right, let me move that over. I forgot to install screen keys. Let me do that real quick. Sudo apt-get install screen key. About 100 meg for this. That's all right, I guess. Wouldn't Cascadia code mean you're using something Microsoft has touched? That's a preference at that point. That's a visual thing. I can certainly stay with this font. Jay Rosegard asks, is that Windows terminal? No. I'm on a Chromebook. This is not a Windows machine at all. This is a $200 Chromebook that I have sitting here in front of me from Hewlett-Packard. BB has a link for me here. Let me see. What do we got? See? There's the link. What do we got here? Customize Chrome OS Cross Shell environment. Custom fonts. Oh, look at this. BB with the win. We'll be dropping a file into a .fonts folder and changing a terminal. Sadly, we need to do a little bit more. Mounting root file system as read-write. Oh, we need to be in developer mode. Yee. Fire up the cross shell. Oh boy. Okay. The dangerous part, powerline fonts. So I don't know anything about powerline fonts. Required Chrome extensions. Secure shell, cross window. What's cross? Font size. Yeah, okay. Solarized color theme. So this feels like what I need to do here. I'm running on Chrome OS. So do not do dev mode right now. You sure? You sure? Chrome OS needs to see the fonts. Alright, alright. Why shouldn't I do this right now? I mean, this feels like something... How am I using terminal? It's right there. I just type terminal and it opens. See? There's my terminal. Right? So I just installed Screen Key. Is it going to work? It's right there. Let's see if that works. I'm wondering if it's choking because it's not seeing the GNOME environment that it's able to work in. Apparently changing fonts in the terminal on a Chromebook is a task so dangerous it needs to be done in developer mode. Powerline fonts have extra non-standard glyphs people use for various things like a GitHub logo, etc. Dev mode will reset the whole environment the first time? Nuts. No, this is the built-in terminal. And it doesn't look like Screen Keys is going to work for us here either. Pac-Man Jr., that's a very good question, and VI with a Chromebook, what are my thoughts on using Visual Studio Online someday? Yes, absolutely. I think that's a terrific idea to show that you don't even need a PC. Do everything with Visual Studio Online in a browser. Yeah, I like that idea too. So, definitely to be considered. So this isn't running, and I have a feeling, right, it's because we're not really in Chrome. So, is that based on try.net? No, it is not. So, I think I need to chuck this out, right? I'm going to go back and remove Screen Key. Yep. Goodbye. Because I can't get that working. What was the other command that we had to do the cleanup? Where'd it go? There was a command that we executed to do the cleanup. Not reconfigure. Now I'm out of it. Can't I run Screen Key from the shell? Well, it's still going to interact with the windowing system. Auto remove. Thank you. Sudo apt-get auto remove. Yes, please. I need to keep the machine a little bit cleaner because I don't have as much space here. Jean Valjean is here. Hello, hello. Chatter, it's not 865309. I can't remember. My gosh, I can't remember Jean Valjean's number. All right, so we're removing that. So now, the other thing that I want to show you that I did, well, that's not right either. There, look at that. It's kind of off. Kind of. Can I just right clear exit? I thought there was a way to reset the Tmux terminal here. Right? Well, that's I went one too far. Also, I feel like I want to save my Tmux settings here, so I just have them available. Right? Another thing, that font size in this terminal, it's not remembering it either. Is it 24601? That's it. Thank you, Squeakers. Yes. I gotta remember that. Right? So let me go back to dev. Right? Back into my Blazor environment over here. I'm gonna open Tmux. I did it again. There we go. Right? And it's trying to do the background with that little thing in the corner, but it's failing miserably. How do I get this to full screen again? I don't have a Tmux config, so I don't know how to write one. Can I shrink one more? Is that too small? I think it's too small for... and split it this way. Push that over a little bit. Right? And up top here, what I'd like to do is have it running my samples all the time. So my samples here, let's run the server side one, right? I want to .NET watch this, right? So go over there, and I'm also going to split it this way. And I still think it's weird, the keystrokes to do the splitting. What I have done is I added a... oh, okay, hang on. I started writing another feature branch here because I ran above this button above the 5. This one. Oh, that's so much better. All right, that feels good. I started a branch. Git branch. I need to look at the keys every now and again because I can't feel where they are. Feature productivity. Right? Git checkout. Track. Origin. Yep. So check this out. I actually wrote... Oh, I'm in after Blazor server side. That's why I'm wasn't where I thought it was. I wrote a scripts folder here, including this script watch test. So now look at all those lines getting all jagged here in Tmux, right? That feels ugly, really ugly, right? Better, still ugly. Right? 2. So down here, I can go into my scripts folder, and I can just run watch test. And it will watch the files, the projects that I specified, and run all of my tests in this little panel here. Right? What do you mean, exited? Huh? So, no. Watch test. So it should be running .NET Watch-P watch CS proj ms build test. And sure looks like it started doing something here. So it's supposed to go up and over to the source folder, down and look at the CS proj files over there, and include all the CS, the C# files, the Razor files, the CS proj files, and not include things in the bin and obj folders. So why didn't it run over here? Okay. Right? Right, if I go up, over to source, and down into there, .NET Watch Test, and it doesn't, the thing that I'm trying to fix here is just running .NET Watch Test will only run the tests when there is, when there's changes to the C# files, but we are writing our tests using Razor files. Well, that doesn't work. Angry Little Hamster asks, how do I get the check mark on the terminal line? There's we showed this last time, there's a Git shell script that will do that. I think it was, what was the name of the gentleman who wrote it? Yeah, look at my .files repository and you'll see that running. Now it's running. It's actually building and running tests here. It's not screaming fast, but it's building and running tests here. So up in this folder, up in this panel up top, right? Where am I? No. Right? Okay, I've hung the machine, it looks like, at this point. There we go. Now it's running. Right? Clear. I want to go into samples. Say my typing has stopped at this point because it's dumping out all of this, all of the messages, right? Because it built for the first time. Will I have enough power to keep live tests running? We'll find out, won't we? You're going to order a Chromebook to follow along. Suggestion on models 200 or under. This one feels, so I'm looking at, right? You're looking at 4 gig. And it feels all right, I guess. If I .NET run up here in panel 1, I guess it is up here, it's going to run my project. It's still trying to run these tests here. It still hasn't finished building and running all my tests. Which is, it's rough. You like the hat? Thank you. Is that Xgate 46? Welcome in. .NET Core on the terminal. Yes, Kurland T. Thank you. Could I share this setup? You'll reproduce it on your Linux laptop. What setup? What parts of the setup? It still hasn't even run the test yet. We're not there yet. And up top there, it's still trying to run the server. But while all that's running, I'm going to jump back over here, and what I should be able to do is, right, I want to go down into source. There we go, 139 tests run, and it took 30 seconds. Of course it took a long time, because this machine takes a long time to do stuff. We're hitting processor core limits. Maybe, right? Let's run top and see what it says. I mean, .NET is right up top. Boom. 80-some%. Right? After Blazor server side, look, there it is running. But it's running. It's doing the thing. Right? This. Localhost 5001. I need to install the cert, because I'm going to get that not secure. And there it is, all right? I've got a Blazor website running on a Chromebook with the .NET developer tools built and running. It's not a, yeah, BB's right. It's not a powerhouse, but it can do it, right? You can be a developer, right? I can go down into my list view, take a look at some of these samples, and they do work, right? My data list samples. Works fine. Tree view, right? And the state of this we need to reconfigure so that it works. But it works. We can do this. So yeah, Smab, we've caught up here. And now that it's running, we're not we're not pressuring the processor, right? So let me quit out of top. So now, let's see if we can actually get something done. Let me go into source, Blazor Web Forms components, and there's all my files. But I can actually, right, start working directly in Vim against these, right? Control N opens up. And I'd love to figure out why I'm getting the bogus characters, the caret G's on the side. But you have Debian installed on your Android tablet. There you go. Oh, you're installing it on your Android tablet. Cool. You can learn, you can experiment, you probably figure out how to break your application into smaller chunks that can be developed on such a system. Yes. I mean, we're doing a lot of work here. We're building some components that are going to do production quality things eventually. We're getting there. We're getting there, friends. So, let me do this. Let me close that. And let me head back over to, yeah, that's fine. I'm going to kill the web server. Actually, no. Keep the web server running. Let me go down here to the test. Let me see if... Right, I'm going to go up into that scripts folder. And I should be able to just run watch test. And it should watch the two projects appropriately to do the test. Now that they're built especially, let's see. Right? There it goes. Now it's working. Fantastic. All right. Would it be easier to use Visual Studio Online via the Chromebook? Asks the bald-bearded builder. Bam! Yeah, I think so. I think you're right. That way you have that compile, all of your compile heavy lifting happening out on the web. Absolutely. And Gareth's right. It's going to cost you some cash to run it out there. If you can make it run Cascadia code, that'd be great. I think you're right, Coder Cat. If we can get the font change to work, if it'll fix some of the jagged in here that we're seeing, that would be tremendous. I'd also like to figure out and learn a little bit more about how I can use, how I can configure tmux, because this line here is awfully empty. And I would love to see like the processor percentage, the memory utilization over here. It'd be really cool if I could get that unit test number on that line. Right? There's all kinds of stuff there. That would be nice to be able to use. So I think I was just trying to get out of here. Hang on. Let me get out of Vim. Goodbye. I think there's a little bit more to do here. But I'm going to leave these things running since I have the script doing its thing. I'll head back over here. This should work. Wrong cursor. So we've got 3 pull requests out here we can take a look at. Let's take a look at this. Tmux plugins and extensions is a deep, deep rabbit hole. Good. Let's do something cool with that, so that we have tmux a little bit more productive for .NET developers. Login control unit tests from Hisham. Anything updated here? So we provided, I mentioned some comments here, some feedback. Reduced magic strings 6 days ago. Let's see, what was changed in this? So getting rid of those. Yeah, I think that's fine. So this is being merged into dev to add those unit tests. Fantastic. I will merge this. Is Is it one commit? No, it's 3 commits. I'd like to squash and merge, please. Sure, we'll get rid of those. And right, I'm working on GitHub, right? I'm picking up and using their facilities, pushing some of that management over there. So thank you for the contribution, Hisham. There we go. So, and of course, working on GitHub looks and feels just like it did before. But this is the login control unit test. We had an issue for this, right? Where'd it go? Or not? I thought we did. Well, they're not there, so that's fine. Take care, Smab. Have a good one. You don't see on my Blogger info page any suggestions on getting started with .NET as a Perl Rails Express developer. Better question for Discord. I would go over to .NET and click the Learn button, and it'll give you some places to jump in right there. Xgate. So the next... Yeah, let me move... That was the Windows. There we go. My Windows cursor. Next one here, introduce component ID generator. Let me come back to that, because there's a lot going on in there that I've read and Hisham's not completely ready for yet. Interesting. Using a T4 template, it reads and parses. Oh yeah, here we go. So this is, Lithix was trying to put together something that would parse out the JavaScript and generate appropriate C# constants for those, so that we can, it's JavaScript, so that we can appropriately mark this as ready for review. Okay, very cool. There is an editor config in the project, and it is being used and consumed inside VI. So if I just take a quick look here, there is a changes since, isn't there? I thought there was a changes since. New changes, view those changes. Right? So JavaScript constants, public const, string, set title, get title, those look fine. The summary looks good. It was tabs versus spaces, and that's, I don't want folks to get wrapped up there. So the T4 template looks good. Okay. Yeah, terrific. This makes sense. So for JavaScript interrupts, when we're building Blazor components, we have user interface components that appear in a web page that are written with C# and generate HTML, but you can still access and interact with JavaScript. You can do that crossing the streams interaction. So, right, have C# call JavaScript, have JavaScript call C#, but we'd like those JavaScript objects to appear as constants so that we don't have to go and figure out the names inside of our C#. So we can, and this is something Robert Tables properly suggested, that we should be able to trigger and get some IntelliSense around that. So what Lithix has put together, this T4 template, will translate and transform those JavaScript items into C# constants that we can reference, which then turns into, we still need a little bit of code to execute it, but I don't think we're too far off there. There's the next steps in this experiment that Lithix has suggested. Yeah, Bald Bearded Builder, don't cross the streams. The next steps would be create some sort of a service that takes in the JavaScript interrupt object and request the appropriate JavaScript object and have all of those methods available to us. So, good safety tip. Nice. Way to go, Kelly. I like that. So I think that, let me, let's change this, the comments in here to let's clean up some of this. Right, I'm also looking for a delete key. I don't see a delete key. T4 template generates a constants files. Removed Rosalind Nougat. Yeah. So, right, we're able to, yeah, reference and build this. That's great stuff. This is into this Spike user control branch where we're working on generating and giving some features that are in the base web forms user interface. Make those available inside of Blazor. This is a neat experiment, and let's think about the next steps to auto-generate and make those JavaScript scripts into more real, right? C#. Nah, let's not say C#. They're easy for me to say, right?
Do you understand the words that are coming out of my mouth?
I do, but they're the wrong words. Into real.NET objects. There we go. On Chromebook, isn't delete shift backspace? Is it? That's going back. Shift backspace isn't doing it. Is it alt backspace will do it? Okay. What are words anyway? Anyway, says Nightmare Joker. Well, you're not wrong. Chromebook as well. Well, that is almost a potato. So well done. Okay. No, John CVV, don't apologize. We figured something out now together. You're right. It's not shit. So now I know. It's not shift backspace. It is alt backspace. I wouldn't have even considered looking for it because manuals. I don't know where there's manuals for any of this stuff. So now we've got our T4 template working that will generate these things inside of our user control. And I'm gonna pass on this one. Let me come back to this tomorrow. We're out a little bit long here today, but no, we didn't get fonts working. It looks like we're gonna need to do some rebooting and tuning here to get that working. Function backspace on a MacBook, yeah. So I'll do that developer mode font installation offline and see if I can get that working. Also, I want to do a little research about the tmux configuration here and see if I can get that in a better place as well. Let me bring over that user control. If I do git pull, that's no git pull. Bring in everything. Git checkout, track, Spike. It was Spike user control? Was that it? No. What are my remote branches? Oh, I forgot the origin in front of it. See, I'm holding down control and it's not going back either. There we go. So now if I git pull this one, do I get the updates? So is it here? Is that TT file? I don't see it. JavaScript constants, TT, there it is. Right? Right there. Okay. So if I .NET build in this folder, that's not how you spell build. My hands have been moving. Hopefully this doesn't take forever. I feel like restore, we should be able to throw on no restore. I mean, it's a 1/10 of a second we're going to cut off there, but... Frackberg asks, that's a good question. what is a TT file? A TT file is it's a text transforming template. They call it a T4 template that allows you at build time to automatically run the template and generate content for it. So this building this project now should generate a new version of that JavaScript constants file. So it is kind of neat because you're generating code with code. While that's working, I'm gonna go back over to. Oop, I'm in a bad way here. I don't think, right? I'm over here. Yeah, I can't. I'm locked up because of all of these missing XML commands that are popping out here. That's annoying. I'd love to turn those off. Right, because I'm toast waiting for this to output. I mean, I can turn down the verbosity of the build, but you're right, Simon. You're right. .NET build -- no restore should prevent it from doing the restore. Right, and it's amazing that this runs immediately on the faster machines. Slower machine like this, it's chugging. That is a heck of a lot of not written XML documents. Yeah. And you know what? We need to address that at some point. I hate to say it, but we should address that. So here's the thing, it's just the console is taking so long to update. I'm locked up and can't, because it's just outputting. Is there a guide on how to do this? You have a Chromebook laying around from college collecting dust. A simple dev machine that doesn't matter if it gets damaged would be amazing. So Wookiee Slayer, I am going to blog about what I've done here to get this set up. Not hard. But I think as I'm looking at this, there's things that we're building, scripts that we're going to build to help automate and simplify some of this. And see if we can make this a little bit easier for everybody. Look at that. So it did actually run. Let's do this. I'm going to open this back up. No, I want to be... Which one am I in? Am I down? No. No. There I am. I'm in this one now. Can't tell which one I'm in, and I've got that jagged thing again. So the scripts folder doesn't actually exist here because I'm outside of. So let me go over to source. And I can .NET Watch test here. All right. So now I'm back in this window over here. And what's the, let's take a look at the CS project file. So where is it that it's telling it to generate the documents? There it is, documentation file. Now, I thought there was some sort of a setting that we could set that says, don't throw errors on this thing. But I don't see it. So that might be a pain that we have to deal with here. Well, maybe we turn down the verbosity of the build. See, we're going to get it over here now also. Right? So .NET build. Right? If I want to make it less verbose when it builds. Verbosity level. So let's say minimal. Right? If we say .NET build -V and minimal is M. Let's see what that does. Because I don't want it to output all the warnings. I just want it to output errors. I should have told it no restore also. There we go. Look at that. Right? So let's try going over to here. Kill that. So if we see .NET Watch test, no restore, -V quiet, right? So it's just quiet. Don't do anything. Just shut up. Just shut up. Just run. And just tell me if there's errors. I don't care about build things. Just shut up. Right there. Come on. Do the thing. Two Wolf.
Two Wolf Design just resubscribed for 9 months.
9 months. Thank you so much, my friend. We're going to make another donation to code.org. And you're going to get that green subscriber hat there in chat. 17 emotes. And you get to throw emotes at my face. Because everybody likes to throw emotes at my face. Thank you so much. In editor config, put prefix local calls with this severity equals. Oh, didn't know you could do that. Recovering from PAX, the con crud is real. Oh my goodness. I hope you feel better, my friend. Take it easy, rest up, and I'm glad you could join us. Tune in and write some code together. So, you know what? I think let's go for another half hour. What do you think? Can we go for another half hour, friend?
I'm Scott. I'm new here.
Scott! Is that Jaco Marcon? Welcome in. Thank you so much for subscribing with Twitch Prime. Look, if you've got Amazon Prime, that's great. Link it up to your Twitch account and you get to subscribe to one channel here on Twitch. If you choose to use it here, you're going to get those 17 emotes. You're going to get to throw emotes at my face, turn off the advertisements, and we're going to make a donation to code.org, just like we are all quarter long. Thank you so much for the sub. I really appreciate that. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So, I think we're good. I think we're good to push for just a little bit longer here. So that's building, and it's doing the test here, and it certainly looks better. Coding Bandit!
Wahoo for another half hour, D.
Yeah, thank you so much for that, for those bits. Appreciate it. There's another donation we're gonna make. So, oh, you're not sure if that hint is gonna work on the CLI, but it worked in Visual Studio 2019, and that's an editor config. Uh-oh, are we on a hype train? Hype train has started, friends. Should we go to DJ mode?
Let me add some value.
Copper Beardy with the cheer. Look at that. Thank you so much. Appreciate that. We can do this. Let's go over to, do you mind? Should we go over to, we should go to party mode. We should. It's a hype train. And everybody loves party mode. Let me see there. There we go. Oh yeah, we're back. Thank you so much for tuning in. I really appreciate this support. Back into party mode. Thank you, Hugo. Oh yeah. Unhip Coder. 2 months. Thank you so much. Yes. Yes. Look at the hype train. Lily Hazel with the hype emotes. Absolutely. Welcome in, friends. Level 1 complete. On to level 2 with the hype train. 4.5 minutes. Let's see how far we can push. Meanwhile, I like that this builds. I've got the cool JavaScript being generated for me. Alright, it's weird saying JavaScript with this, the voice changer on. Pardon me while I code in JavaScript. No, see? And the horses love it. Love it. Where was I? Gonna jump over here and let's take a look while the party continues. Where is it? JavaScript constants. There we go. OmniSharp requires Vim compiled with Python or Python 3. You make me sad. So sad. So OmniSharp isn't running because Python is missing. Interesting. Can we try and fix that? Coding Bandit!
Coding Bandit just gifted 5 subs.
Oh my goodness, 5 gift subs. Thank you so much. Another fathead, Frackberg, Wanadza, Eagle Hansen, and Kabazi. Very cool. Thank you so much for gifting those subs. Yes. Welcome in. That completes level 2 of the hype train. Moving on. Here comes level 3. 4.5 minutes. Thank you so much, friends. I really appreciate the support. That's a bunch of donations we're going to make to code.org. Look at the hype. Oh, yeah. I think we need to figure out why our Vim install doesn't have Python and get OmniSharp working. Let's take a look-see here. OmniSharp Vim Python. Oh yeah, it feels good. Let's see what do we got here. See if there's something I'm missing. Wookie Slayer! Adding some value. Thank you so much for those 100 bits. Yeah. Pushing the hype train along. Thank you so much for the cheer. And we're gonna make another donation to code.org. Alright. Python. No Python required. Less than 8, use the HTTP server. Your Vim must have Python support. So I wonder if I need to update my version of Vim. I don't know. Maybe. Oh, official docs using editor config to suppress code analyzer violations. Nice. I don't want to install Nux. It's Vim compiled with all the options. Is it? Is that what I really want? I don't know. Do this. And there were a couple other options I need to install for NerdTree to get it to live and open and close properly. What was the version of Vim? 80707. Sudo apt-get. Is it update or upgrade? Let's try it. Is it update? Nope. Upgrade? Maybe install? Nope. Does it make me sound like GLaDOS from Portal? You want your cake, don't you? Oh, it is not tpaint.net, Kyle. Welcome in. The hype train is live. 1 minute, 20 seconds. So how do I get Vim with Python to get this working? Use the stdio server. So do I drop this entry into my vimrc? Let's see what happens when I do that. Copy this. Go back over here. Go to the end. Open up. Omni Sharp config. There we go. Oh, it's not a hash, right? Needs to be a quote. There we go. Right. So now if I do Vim on Scott.net Kyle. Thank you so much for the sub. Very much appreciate that. And you're gonna get, oh my gosh, we're gonna get party time for a little bit longer here. Thank you so much for the hype train, friends. There we go. You're gonna get 17 emotes.net Kyle, including rainbow bearded Clippy, the .net bot with sunglasses, and a couple other cool poses, including the raid, the shields, all that cool stuff. There goes some trains. And we're also going to give you the ability to turn off ads, and we're going to make that donation to code.org. We've got 5 more minutes of party mode requested. I'll turn that on. Let me turn on the status. Where's my status bar? Here. Show the status bar. Party mode. There it is. Turn on the timer. There we go. All right, 5 minutes of party time. Thank you so much for the redemption entree. Appreciate that. Let me move my mouse over here. My redemption screen isn't updating because it's not showing anything in the queue. Even though that was just requested. Interesting. Yep, that feels like Twitch is having an outage. Gareth asks, would it be worth having a march command to explain minimal march? Not a bad idea. And I think we should also put a panel just below the video here that talks about what the machine is we're using. Some of those goals as well. So we have a couple different ways. It's a great idea. Very good idea. And the panel can also link to, I'll put all the blog articles about this in a series, in a category, and we'll link to the category. Great idea, Gareth. And we could probably link to the YouTube videos as those get published. .NET Kyle is using those bot emotes. Thank you, sir. Very cool. Love the way you're thinking, Gareth. Yeah, let's make sure people know what's happening. OmniSharp server is popping up now. Yes, please install OmniSharp, of course. It's the open source plugin that runs not just in Vim, it runs in Visual Studio Code to give you IntelliSense features. There we go. And now I have IntelliSense. I should also have syntax highlighting, but I don't see it. Let's try editing one more time now that it's... Nope. Does this container have a name? What container? I don't think so. Hardware, software, and setup link to the YouTube playlist. Yes. Restart the entire Linux subsystem. How do I do that, BB? You can't see behind the panel. It says server load notification. Oh, you know what? OmniSharp is probably building and running in the background. And that's what it's waiting on, what it's doing here. Yeah. So let's do this. Coder Cat.
Just resubscribed for 2 months. Twitch Prime FTW.
Thank you so much. Coder Cat with the Twitch Prime. very appreciate that. And we'll make another donation to code.org, and you're gonna get all those emotes and turn off the ads here. Thank you so much. Oh, it's the long T-Pain song. Let's see. I don't know where Omni Sharp is in this list, but mono. That's it right there. It's not too bad. Not crushing it. I mean, 1% is CPU. I'll take it. It still hasn't updated the user interface. About a minute left on party time. Alright. I do like how it generates this. And if I delete these records, it should rebuild it when I build the project. So we were saying .NET build no restore -VQ. So it's quiet. Don't try and restore packages. Just build. So how do we restart the entire Linux subsystem? Exit and restart. There we go. Look, we got some errors. But it should have built and generated it, right? Why didn't it regenerate those files? Let's take a look at the CS proj. And that's 5 minutes. And we're back. Back out of party time. Thank you so much. That's always fun when we do that. Really enjoy having fun with that. Oh, thank goodness. Yes. Exit it all and relaunch. Okay, we can do that. But I feel like, right, this item group here doing the generation, I feel like maybe that we should have that in a target so that we can have it generate the files and then have it come back and be come back and have it load up stuff for us. I'm still on. Okay. So let's exit everything here and try that relaunch as BB's suggesting. I don't want to just crush everything here. So, no, I'm trying to jump. There we go. Control C to clear that. Log out over there. Nope. I thought I would stay over on that side. Control C. Log out. So if I log out of that, I'm out of tmux. So exit everything. There it goes. And relaunch. All right. Relaunching. I do want to figure out that tmux, how we can save that. If Carl ever needs a lyricist, C# Fritzy Fritz is who to call. No, that's a bad idea. I also want to change that font size, the default font size there. It's wrong. Relaunch tmux. Right. Split it vertical. Move this over here. Right. This and that. Okay. So go to dev. I don't have scripts. That's okay. Right. Source. Dot test. So now .NET Watch test. No restore -VQ. So that's going to start running. Dev back into there, samples, the after version, that. So not .NET run. .NET run no restore. So the tests are failing because it can't find all the files. This is failing. That's interesting. Why isn't it .NET run? Huh? Why is that blowing up? Not clear. Just do a .NET watch run. Maybe that'll work. Stepped away for a bit. Did I get the... Yeah, the Chromebook is... It's set up. Yeah, going back to the music sounds weird after being in party mode. You're true. Too true. Too true. Oh, you can detach it and reopen it. Oh, that's cool. Didn't know that. All right. Thank you. So I'm going to go back over to here, source, down in here, and let's edit the project file. What I think I can do, right? I think there's a way you can wrap this as a target. And then you can specify the project depends on this. Am I accepting friend requests on Discord? For folks that I know and that I've been chatting with, or that are colleagues, yes. So, yeah, all of your information is private. I don't know who you are. I'm not going to accept a friend request. Syntax on in Vim. Is it? So let's go back over to JavaScript constant CS. Now the syntax highlighting isn't happening. To turn on highlighting, then check the vimrc. I don't understand deregs. Make sure it's in the settings. Is it something like that? Oh my gosh! Alright. Alright, hang on. Ooh. My gosh, it's like, Oh, and look, now we got the fonts working properly over here, too. Alright, alright. Let me go back up. Keep going up. One more. Yeah. And I want my... Was it vimrc? This one. Right, and it's syntax on. Is it just like that? So now, if I go back in... Ah, there we go. Alright. Alright. I'm sold. I'm sold. Let me go back to the CS proj file. Now I got the syntax highlighting over there. Thank God. Right, and this is choking because get title and set title aren't a thing. It doesn't know what to do with those. Server load notification, right? I'm going to be seeing this a bit, I think. I need to go figure out how to turn this right here into a task so we can have it execute. I'm just going to go down to that JavaScript constants and I'm going to fill in something for get title and set title just to get it to be able to rebuild. Right? I was about to type prop tab tab. We don't have snippets. Get title. Right. Public string set title. Yeah. What? Get out of there, over here. Now if I .NET build. It's not there. .NET build. No restore. Verbose, quiet. I don't know what I did, BB, to get the characters fixed and get the colorization working, but it's working. It's still, right, I'm still not getting the fonts looking proper in there, but... Part of me wonders if something installed in the background. But I think we need to wrap up here. I'm not I'm not getting too much further, but we can now build and run our application over here. Cannot declare instance members in a it's a static class. Right, I'm trying to get these to regenerate. And there we go. That one's regenerating. Is this one going to? There it goes. So now I've got 3 compiles running at the same time, which might be a little bit. Twitch was serving the stream at 480. Oh, no. And the font up in here does look funny. That red looks ugly. Even though I told the verbosity to be quiet, it's still outputting junk here. Warnings. Need to turn off the warnings being output. Let's see what we get here. So this is only a dual core processor, so it is definitely fighting to be able to build all 3 of these at the same time. Right? So maybe we need to turn off having all of them running at the same time, because this is not optimal. Right? This is going to take a long time to build and work with. If every time I go to build, it's going to take 5 minutes to do one of these things. Right? I mean, look at that. And then this one next to me is going to run right after that one. But it built properly. And I'm locked out of the keyboard at this point, because it's still painting up there. Oh, the red is from the capture card. Good point. Probably need a faster. Yeah. Faster processor? Yeah, a little bit. Right. So now if I do more on the JavaScript. Right? Ew. Tried to make that quiet. I'd love to tell it to... There is a command to tell it to ignore the warnings. While that's loading... Right, that should have... Nope, it didn't regenerate it. Why didn't it regenerate? That's a problem. Right, and then these are going to run. Let's see. Wrong keyboard. .NET compile, ignore warnings. Yes, it is Vim we're using. Yes, yes. I'm not going to do publish. Configuration. I just wanted to ignore all warnings. Right? No warn on these right? So we wanted to get rid of not the annotations for the nullable reference types, but the warnings about documentation. Right? You can see them flying by up top there. But it looks like we add no warn in here. And we can make that go away. So what's interesting, the thing that we're seeing more and more of here is if we tune and we write a couple extra scripts and we layer these into our project, it will help with the building of our application and make it easier. Now, right, look at these warnings flying by here. Right, I'd like to get rid of CS1591 or the XML comments. You can also do this in an editor config. Is the .NET command line reading the editor config? Can we do that over here? Supported settings, code consistency, add and remove, right? See a whole bunch of stuff in there. I'll need to do some reading into here, so we can figure out exactly what we want to pause and get working. But what we're hitting is that we can build, we can run on the Chromebook and be productive. It's not fabulous. We're going to tune and we're going to make this a little bit easier to do. I think I only want to run 16 seconds to run all those tests. That wasn't 16 seconds. That was a little bit longer than that, friend. But I think we want to look at making this run much, much faster here. Get rid of as much as possible when we run our tests. And probably not having that server running in the background. And it's interesting to me why that T4 template isn't rerunning. Simon linked it up higher in the chat. For how to do this in... Put hash CA prefix local codes. .NET diagnostic CA something severity. Here. .NET diagnostic equals. Okay. We could set that to none. Cool. All right. Let's see if we can do that real quick over here. .NET diagnostic severity. All right. So, the BLs are the Blazor ones up here. I'm not going to be able to see those. The error number here for the... right, if I just .NET build here, let me kill that. You're kidding. Hello, Vile. Welcome in. No, it's not showing me the thing now. Right. Go to the end. Right, now build. Let's see what we get. Since it's actually going to see the change, it should go through and hit all of these things. And I want to be able to get some of those numbers. Should have piped it through more. There we go. Annotation for nullable reference types. Yeah, I canceled. Let's see what we get here. Looks horrific, yeah. It's, it is the command line. We are using the command line editors. It'll be fine. We'll get this worked out. We'll get productive. We'll get very productive. So those warnings, CS0618, those are obsolete. I think I want to ignore those also. Right. CS0618, I think we definitely want to. CS1591. CS0618. CS1591. Okay. So now back here on the Chromebook, I'm going to edit my editor config. There we go. Why am I not getting any output here? It's not echoing anything to the terminal. Huh? That was weird. Let me just work here. CD dev, there. And I'm going to edit the editor config. Let's go to the end. Remove compiler warnings. So the first one, this is going to be .NET diagnostic CS 618 dot severity equals none. This is obsolete warning. I think that works like that. I think that works. Okay. Next one is .NET diagnostic CS 1591 severity equals none, and that's going to be the documentation warning. Okay, so now if I go into source, right, and now .NET build should ignore all of those errors for us if I'm understanding what I think it was Frackberg mentioned, Simon mentioned. Let's see what we get, and then we'll call it right after this. No. Well, that's CS 1574. Let's add that back in also. CS 1574. And that's up to I want this line. Hello? There we go. Is it V? That line, I'm going to yank, and I'm going to put it, no. Put a G on the end here, go to the beginning of this line, change that to a D, and what was the number again? I forget the number. It was 1574. And that's another XML documentation. That's the reference warning. Right? So now if I build, I should get most of that stuff going away also as ignored. And eventually we'll turn those compiler warnings for documentation back on. Picked up the family, went shopping, had dinner, and I'm still working. Yeah, absolutely. How's the Chromebook working? It's working. It's serviceable. It's doing what it needs to be doing. And, right, we're seeing, right, it takes 18 seconds to do a build of this one project, which is slower than on a more powerful machine, to be expected. But we can work. We can build stuff here, right? We're not getting that immediate turnaround that you would on a high-end machine. So I'm okay with that. So the files that I've changed in here are the editor config, the JavaScript constants. I don't care about the JavaScript constants. But let me add the editor config. Here, let me show you something else that I don't know if you noticed this. Sure, Vim editor config. Look at this. It's specifying end of line as character return line feed. So when I write a file out, let me do this again. Oh, it didn't do that. Hang on. Let me open another file. Let's open global JSON. No end of line. Nice. Look at that. Let me see here. Open NuGet config. No end of line. Let me find this. And what it was telling me was it was saying DOS on the line there, so that you knew. That's you're modifying something that's formatted for whatever. Right now, it's not telling me that. Interesting. Can't imagine $200 US can be enough for an average university student or for a junior who creates their portfolio. Yeah. Oh, it can be enough. Yeah, absolutely, Morzel. Yeah, I agree. Right? Being able to be productive, to deliver functionality is all we're talking about here. Are you slaying all kinds of code really, really fast? No. But you're building and you're productive. So, I want to wrap up there today. This has been enlightening. Learning new things here. Let me commit that. Added some compiler warning. Added some ignore statements for compiler warnings. Right? And I'll push that out. Right? I mean, pushing and working with the outside works great, right? And I'll get rid of that other change. We don't need that. So we've got a couple things here that we do want to come back around, and we want to make sure that we follow up on in the future. We've got the regeneration of our T4 templates there isn't running on every build. We need to make sure that that's early in the process. We want to make that a build task so it fires before we actually try and compile our code so that the right content is in there at the right time. So we're going to have to add that in as a task, a project task, and move that around. And we'll take a look at that offline, see if I can get that set up and get that into the mix. We've got our Chromebook set up and we're able to build and work here. I'm going to do a little bit more research into customization and see if I can make this look and feel a little bit better. I'm disappointed I wasn't able to get my background image or my fonts loaded up here, but BB gave us, and some other folks pointed out that there's some things I have to do to turn off and go into developer mode and reconfigure the box. I'm going to take care of that and see what I can do to get that working offline, because that's going to be a little dangerous to do while I'm here online. might not necessarily be outputting video for that. Thank you so much, everybody, for tuning in. I really appreciate you joining me. I'm going to blog about this. This video will be available over on YouTube. I'm going to spend some time later today, tomorrow, getting everything over on YouTube. I'm about a month and a half behind on YouTube videos. But they are, all of the videos are available in the archive if you click videos here on Twitch. Or if you're watching on YouTube, the videos are already here. So I really appreciate everybody joining me today. This was a lot of fun. Yeah, we are working, is that Lou Wisp? We are working on Linux, spending some time learning a little bit about how .NET works on Linux and what we can do with this. It's been pretty impressive. Just how much we can do and what we're able to accomplish. Let me take a look at who's streaming out there. And let me see. You know what? I'm going to rate somebody. They are a brand new Live Coders team member. This is... Let me get that open here. Yeah. Let's raid... This is James Warner. They're doing some web development. And we're going to send you over there to see James and have a good time. They just joined the team. Literally just joined the team last night. This morning. Thank you for issuing the raid call there. Let me grab the raid button here. Where is it? Raid. There. And, come on. Come on, find it. There we go. All right, friends. Thank you so much for tuning in. I'll be back this time tomorrow. Well, when I started, 10 a.m. Eastern Time. 7 a.m. Pacific, 1500 UTC, and we'll be back doing some more development here on the Chromebook. I'm going to do some more configuration, tune this up. Keep an eye on that .files repository that I have out there on GitHub, and you'll see some of my changes. Thank you so much for the follow. Say hi to our new friend James. See you next time.